on in Florida and for most of the peninsula and for most of the areas bordering the Gulf, but we do have tropical moisture moving into the area as we look ahead to Tuesday in the afternoon.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
Extreme heat is not only a risk to humans, pets are at just as much risk as well. Lena Folk spoke with an expert about how you can keep your furry friends safe all summer long.
Whatever precautions you would take with your child or with your maybe grandparents, your senior relatives or friends, take the same precautions for your pets.
When it comes to triple digits, humans aren't the only ones susceptible to the deathly risk of heat stroke, as our furry friends can also succumb to the beaming sun.
Dogs aren't any different than humans in that they're going to show the same signs. That's why it's so important to be aware of your pet's normal behaviors, and as soon as it's experiencing abnormal behaviors, taking the steps to remove it out of the temperatures.
According to the city shelter, owners should look out for heavy panting and a sluggish dog. Shelter director Matthew Buck says certain breeds are more vulnerable.
So be real mindful if you have a darker colored pet, a Rottweiler, a German Shepherd, a Pit Bull. Some of those pets that have that darker color pattern are more susceptible.
With climbing temperatures, taking dogs out for a walk isn't as simple. Animal experts recommend walking pets in the early morning or the evening.
Good rule of thumb there is if it's too hot for your bare feet, it's too hot for your pet's feet. Always test the pavement first before you take your pet for a walk.
And when it comes to taking your dog outdoors, it is recommended to install a doggy door to give your animal the option of being indoors or outdoors. If this isn't an option for you, Buck says to ensure your pet's water bowl has ice along with a small doggy pool. And if you're worried about your feline friend, Buck says cats are less of a concern.
Cats are very resilient and find ways to cool off better than a dog can. They can crawl and fit into spots that dogs can't.
When temperatures are soaring, it's not just the number on the thermometer that you need to look out for. UV index is also a major factor, but as meteorologist Eric Dobroka explains, the time of day can make a big difference as well.
It's summertime, and that means our high UV index is back in action. But did you know we really only have to be concerned with a couple hours of the daytime? So, for example, when we say that the UV index is going to be a 9 for the day, which is very high, we're really only talking about a very small window here. For example, right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon through around 3 p.m. So for about 2 to 3 hours, that's where we're really most at risk for sunburn, and that's where we really need to pay attention, certainly wear hats and sunscreen during those few hours of the afternoon.
Well, have you ever heard of the term heat lightning? A lot of people are confused as to what it actually is. To help clear things up, let's take a look at a recent Instagram post from meteorologist Jeff Exline.
Heat lightning, a myth or a fact? Well, the NOAA glossary actually defines heat lightning as lightning that occurs at a distance such that thunder can no longer be heard. I have a feeling a lot of people think that heat lightning is generated by the summertime heat, but what you're really seeing is lightning from a far off storm that we can't hear the thunder. See, we can only hear thunder about 10 to 15 miles away from a thunderstorm or a lightning strike. Well, of course, the speed of light is much faster. That's why we always see lightning first and then hear thunder. Speed of light is 186,000 miles plus change per second, while the speed of sound travels at 1,088 feet per second. You can actually determine how far a lightning strike is from your given location. Simple math formula. You see lightning, you start counting until you hear thunder. Let's pretend we saw lightning outside the window. We started counting 5 seconds go by. You take 5, divide it by 5, and that would give you 1. So that would be approximately 1 mile away from your location. If you ever hear thunder, you're close enough to get struck by lightning. So when thunder roars, get indoors.
Right. There have been several tornadoes that have touched down all over the country this year, but these warmer months are a time when dust devils can be pretty common as well. Meteorologist Evan O'Regan explains what dust devils are and why they are different from tornadoes.
As we all know, the sun is quite strong here in the borderland, so the daytime sun has no problem heating the ground very quickly. As the air near the ground heats up, hot air rises and forms low pressure at the surface, right at the ground. In order to replace this air that has risen, air must move into the area of low pressure, which is already circulating. This air being brought in causes the circulation to get stronger. This is a self-sustaining process. Air rises, gets replaced by the air rushing into the area of low pressure, and the circulation then gets stronger and stronger, picking up dust and debris, and voila, you have yourself a dust devil. Eventually, the air does cool down and it kills the circulation, but you can see that unlike a tornado, dust devils are not actually caused by thunderstorms. They're also much smaller than twisters, only ranging between 10 and 300 feet in diameter, and are only about 500 to 1,000 feet tall.
Well, have you ever seen clouds that look something like this? Sometimes they are called hole punch clouds. It takes a very specific set of circumstances for these clouds to form. Meteorologist Peter Hall explains.
Hey there, I'm Weather Authority meteorologist Peter Hall. Wanted to show you a really cool picture of this. These are called fall streak holes or hole punch clouds. Kind of understand why they'd be called that, right? It looks like they kind of gave a 1-2 there punch. What these are actually clouds that are filled with supercooled water droplets. And when planes fly through them, they actually freeze immediately. You can actually have water in liquid form under freezing, but once it gets agitated or hits some dust or something like that, they'll then freeze to an ice crystal and then fall. In this case, a plane likely caused these, but boy, while they're rare, they're pretty cool to look at.
Well, spring and summer means bad allergies for many people, but depending on the season, the types of pollen in the air changes. Meteorologist Donnie Cox explains and gives a few tips on how you can avoid the worst allergy symptoms.
We made it to the summer months, and yeah, you still are feeling bad. Part of the reason you're coughing and you still have the sneezing and you still have the drainage is pollen continues even into the summer months, especially as you pull the lawnmower out and start to hit those yard chores for the summer. So here's a few things you need to remember. As we go through the summer months, the pollen will stick around. Talk to your doctor and tell him what's happening. And remember, the over-the-counter prescription medications, you still need those in the summer, but talk to your doctor about that. Be sure to shower before you head to bed because that gets the pollen off of you and you don't actually end up with the pollen on your pillow and making it worse for you. And remember, the fall pollen is not far away. I'm meteorologist Donnie Cox. And now let's check to see the weather in cities across the country today. We'll begin in Los Angeles, California, where things start out fairly cloudy and becoming mostly sunny this afternoon. High in the City of Angels today is a comfortable 72 degrees. And heading north to Seattle, Washington, where a very foggy start this morning will become partly cloudy this afternoon with highs in the low 70s. And heading over to the Great Lakes and beautiful Milwaukee. Look at that. Beautiful day there today with nothing but sunny skies with the highs in the mid 60s. And we head over to the Sunshine State and the city of Clearwater, Florida. A mix of sunshine and clouds, a stray shower or thunderstorms is also possible. It's going to be hot with the high in the low 90s. And we head to break. Let's take views of the Arizona desert.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Sarah Converse. Most of the Midwest looking at dry conditions, and temperatures are going to be very comfortable. Cooler, though, near the Ohio River Valley with temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s, 69 in Columbus, 75 in Springfield. We do have some showers and thunderstorms that's going to be impacting more of the upper plains. So in the Dakotas and Montana, we do have a system moving through. And then for tonight, it's going to be very comfortable. Temperatures are going to be in the 50s, even some 40s for parts of the Midwest.
Hope you're having a great Monday morning. I'm meteorologist Mary Wasson. Overnight, we can't rule out a few showers and thunderstorms, specifically from around 5 to about 7 o'clock. Then beyond that, we will see most everything give way to some sunshine and a lot of heat with high temperatures in the low 90s. Tuesday, we can't rule out a few showers and storms in the morning again, with high temperatures climbing Tuesday afternoon under a mostly cloudy sky to 94 degrees.
Good morning. I'm meteorologist Rebecca Stevenson. Here's what's happening across the West. While the Southwest may have been cooling slightly, we have excessive heat building up into the central California valleys. As we move up to the Pacific Northwest, we've got beautiful weather, close to normal temperatures, and we're seeing the front that brought showers and thunderstorms to the Pacific Northwest exit, while we have severe storms developing for large portions of eastern New Mexico. That's the scene from here.
You are watching the National Weather Desk.
Wildfire season is here. Meteorologist Matt Monroe looks at the damage from a 2021 wildfire and shows us some of the most common ways wildfires are started.
This is beautiful Frenchman Lake, California, one of the many absolutely gorgeous lakes in the beautiful Sierra Nevada. So it's an alpine lake. I shot this video and it's gorgeous, but if you look around the shoreline to the forest, it's a little bit thin and it's a little bit charred. So I did another video. I zoomed in and there it is. That's a big burn scar from the huge Dixie fire that took place in 2021. It scorched almost 1 million acres of beautiful California countryside, and it's a stark reminder we're now officially in wildfire season here in the western United States. So please be careful, because 80% of all wildfires are actually human caused. Watch the campfires, the fireworks. If you're doing any sort of target shooting, watch the cigarette butts. Even chains dragging from trailers and RVs can spark a fire. So if we all do our part, we can greatly reduce scenes like this right here.
And for more great weather content, be sure to check us out on social media. We are on all of your favorite platforms. Just search the National Weather Desk. We will be right back. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Angela Brown. Make it a great Monday, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.